I'm Sarah Caughey. I'm the Director of Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion here at NEIEP. So the Director of Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion encompasses a lot of different things. I think it depends on the role that you're in and the company and the capacity that you work for. But here at NEIEP, it involves working with the everyday lives of our students, as well as looking at the students that we're bringing in our outreach program and making sure that we're bringing in a diverse group of people to enter into the workforce. I joined the industry right out of college. Certainly elevators weren't the first thing at the top of my brain when I entered the workforce, but I entered in, and just never looked back, really. I got in, I was selling elevators, I moved up into a branch manager role, and I've just loved the industry ever since. I didn't leave, and now I know a little bit too much about elevators to get out, so. So like I just described pretty much, I mean, I started in sales. I learned, how to sell an elevator. I learned the operations side of things, how to work with, mechanics in the field in order to understand the mechanics of an elevator. From there, I became a branch manager and a manager for a couple of major corporations in the industry. And from there, I started, being in charge of hiring, our workforce, and that's really where I am today, or where I was right before I took this role. When I began, I would say it was sparse. It was, diversity was something that it wasn't really talked about so much. And I saw it being talked about, and I found it to be much more prevalent in everyday conversation towards, maybe midway through my career, which was exciting. And certainly by the time, I was in my last role as a branch manager for a major corporation, it was being talked about on a weekly basis, and very, very much at the focal point of a lot of conversations in terms of how to increase diversity in the office and in the field. I think it's a product just like in any industry where the outreach wasn't there. I think that's something that's been increasing over years. Whether it's the companies themselves or in the field, there's been just such a conversation around it that's increased the level of understanding that inviting groups of individuals from different organizations has made huge leaps and bounds, especially when it comes to the elevator industry, and making sure that just people know about the industry and people know to be ready for an interview is I call them the invisible barriers to entry when it comes to a trade like the elevator industry. There's a lot that you have to know, right? So we're trying to open the doors to others that might not have known about it before. Over time, I mean, it's been a huge difference between the time I started till now. It wasn't a conversation like I just said, but now we're talking about it in the companies, in the IUEC, across the industry. It's a conversation. Diversity is important. Diversity is something that will benefit everyone, and I'm here for it and I'm excited.